Hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, live with the boys while recording this video. We should be live by the time this also goes up. If you guys want to come by, we're going to be playing some Lost Sword because there is a collab with Senrankaura. That said, we have EH finally here. We have some tests that we were running and chilling. Again, this is day one first impressions. Don't take it as a final review because it's not. But let's talk a little bit on the first impressions or her skills and if it's worth pulling for her or not. A TLDR if you don't want to watch this whole jumping session, okay? Skip. That's it. That's the whole video. Skip. Elysion will still be carried by Rappi. This is a niche character that will be used on some raids and on some campaign stages. Even when we talk about solo raids, it depends on shift up. Does shift up want to put parts or projectiles you can break? Good. Does shift up want to make a boss with absolutely no parts, no projectiles, no nothing, like this fuck right here, the Merciless Judge? You cannot use her, regardless of win week or not, right? So even solo raids is gonna be depending on the boss. And even if we're talking about Elysion stages on Thrive Tower, P3s on Elysion, let's not pretend anyone here, but this character is the only carry Elysion has right now, right? When it comes to B3s. The only thing that will get closer is Bestie as an overall character for high deficit because of the true damage. Fantastic unit, right? Everything else, it's either support characters with both Helm and Brevity right behind my camera, or maybe filler for element, specific elements, like could be Diesel, like could be Maiden, if you want to cope with K, and now with EH. In fact, K is pretty close to EH. Now, that's it. Skills, before we go into the damage numbers. A pro and a con. She's super cheap, but her skill sucks ass. Both skill 1 and skill 2 are the same thing. And it's all about how many parts you break or projectiles to get the scraps in the magazines. You guys can check the previous video to see how this works. But the worst part is not that these two skills are useless if there are no parts or projectiles. Is that the scaling is fucking awful. At level 4, skill 1 is giving you 5.45 attack continuously, multiplied by the number of homemade magazines. At level 10, from level 4 to level 10, it's less than 2% increase. It's 2.05%. It's a 7.5 instead. 2% from going to level 4 to level 10, not worth leveling up. Skill 2, same thing. At level 4, it's an 11% elemental advantage attack damage. At level 10, it's a 16%. Like, again, not worth leveling up at all. Like, at all. Both skill 1 and skill 2 are just level 4, and they are both the skills that if the boss has no parts, if the boss has no destructible projectiles, you are just never gonna be making use of. Her purse is where a lot of the damage is coming from. Level 10 is 430% attack, which is fantastic. The highest modifier in the game, I believe, at the moment for attack. But even that seems pretty expensive for a niche unit. If you can get the 10, it's nice, it's extra damage, obviously. But this is a level 7, 7 to 10, right? Depending on your resources as usual. And same thing applies for the gear, and same thing applies for the cube. Before we go into the damage number comparisons, for some reference, I got 4 elemental, 1 attack, right? 4 LA, 1 attack, 1 hit right there, 1 charge damage there. She doesn't care about almost anything. It's like a basic beach DPS build. You want your elemental, and then everything else is filler. Attack is still good. Even with this 430% attack, this is only when she bursts. So still getting attack is nice for every other rotation, right? So it's elemental, and then you want to be getting your crit, then you want to be getting your 1 line of max ammo if you want. Should be a couple lines of max ammo should be fine. You don't even need to worry too much about ammo. It's a 1-second reload SMG, so it's like whatever. A crit is probably going to be better. I'm not sure if charge damage will be good for her or not when it comes to the weapon switch and how much it will affect her damage output. Whenever we test more, that will be going to the website. For the first impressions, just focus on the usual basic beach DPS build, right? And when it comes to cube, resilience is not needed. I was running endurance so she can survive a little bit longer, but I wouldn't recommend endurance. It's going to be Bastion or Braiwen's propaganda today. Distraction. This is a character you will use on bosses with parts for the most parts. So this is a good cube for her if the boss has parts. If the boss doesn't have parts, Bastion. Or it's projectiles instead of parts, right? Bastion. If not, you can run that one, that's fine. Now, all the jumping aside, let's go into damage numbers. It's been mostly Kraken, and we did one Union range test just to see how she does without taking into consideration skill 1 and 2. For Kraken, she competes with Mana and with Sakura. You can take that as what you will, right? Like with Mana, it barely cleared. Mana was doing 700 mil. Sakura, we died on stage 9, like 10% left. 700. And then EH is doing like close to a build with 4 elemental, only 1 attack line. It's not awful, it's better than those two, but again, that's not like a high achievement when we're talking about wind characters. Like, getting close to a support Little Mermaid or a support Nayuta for a pure DPS selfish character is not great, right? Because if we're talking about pure selfish DPSs, you have your SBS. Even Liberalio, that is buffing characters, will be just doing way better. If you have the Eva girls, they still do better than her. Not an awful character, but super niche. And this is Kraken, a boss that you can get her 4 magazines for the 30% attack super early on. That the first time you burst with her, second rotation, because first time you want to be going SBS or whoever you have, right? She will already have 4 magazines, and it still is not enough damage. Like, fucking Velvet, getting to stage 6, right? Bursting with Velvet. She's doing 420, while EH is doing 530. Like, I don't know, and that's a Velvet with only 2 elemental, 2 attack lines. I don't think it's worth putting for her, like, almost at all. Unless you are someone who just likes the Pokédex, unless you are someone who likes getting all of the characters for raids, then yes, she will see usage there. Obviously, we want to have 5 elemental teams, but that's it. Also, funny enough, on Union range, no parts, no projectiles, no nothing, just one boss. She's still doing the same damage she would be doing. Like, damage difference is not that big from running her on a normal stage or putting her on the stage where she can take advantage of her kit. It's not good, obviously. Like, again, this is a support Little Mermaid. Still, Nayuta is doing 4.1 while she's doing 2.5. But yeah, I don't think it's worth pulling for her. This is a purely collection character, maybe for raids. A unit that even on campaign and on tower stages, there are just always better alternatives. Even for new players, I don't think it's worth it. Again, you all will have to decide. Nike has become a game that you only pull for pilgrims, limiteds, and the seasonal units. You pull for those and you're good. The occasional maid are usually good, right? With the maid mass, maid anchor, when they release Bunny 8, when they release something like Velvet as an off-burst support character, they are pretty good. But yes, like Garme is saying in chat, her only saving grace is that she's like K, but she always keeps her stacks, which is a bit better than K. Which again is not a high achievement, considering K was kind of a flop after her release. I do like her design. Well, I did like her old design, but Shift Up kind of fucked me. They changed her design. Her kit is overall not that great. If you pull for her, I wouldn't even recommend building her at the moment, considering half anniversary is pretty close. No, it's what? Next month should be half anniversary? Whenever it's half anniversary, that's gonna be the characters you should be going all in for, not on something like this. If you like her, go for it. I would not personally recommend it at the moment, and if we're talking about gold Miliach, please don't. Please don't do it. I would just recommend you guys pull instead for tagging and Chisato, better characters, at least in the current meta. That's it, enough jumping, enough ranting. Let's go into Lost Sword. There is collab there too, and I do want to pull for the new units.